Right, number 7 says the graph shows the distance d in miles that Joe can drive his car using g gallons of gasoline. Use the graph to determine the rate of change in this situation. All right, the graph shows the distance d, okay, so that's a variable, in miles, that Joe can drive his car using g gallons of gasoline. All right, use the graph to determine the rate of change. Rate of change, remember we talked about, is that K or that slope. Also your unit rate, all the same thing, all right, in this situation. So if we're finding our unit rate or our slope, this is a graph, all right, that's telling me that I should be doing something like rise over run, all right? So this is proportionate. I see it come straight through my origin, so I'm going to start here. And it already has a pretty point for me. So I have 50 and 2. I know a lot of you took that y and divided it by your x, and because it's proportionate, you can do that. But even if you do your rise over run, okay, and I'm coming all the way up, this is my rise. So from 0 up to 50, okay, the distance was 50. Okay, so my rise, I went up 50. You could also say they're counting by 10, so every jump I take is 10. So I went up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Cool. And then my run, all right, I'm going over 1, 2, and we are counting by ones, all right? So this is just 1, 2. We went from 0 to 2, so my run goes over 2, all right? 50 divided by 2 gives me 25. You could also type that in a calculator, okay? So when you gridded this, all right, you have all of your squares, right? I'm going to say this one's your decimal. Okay. I had a lot of people ask because they put it behind the decimal. You have more squares up here if you put it at the beginning, like 25. Okay. 25, the whole number, is the same as 25.0. Okay, that decimal is out of sight, right on the right. So I'm just going to butt it up right next to that decimal. I had a lot of people who put 0.25. Okay, 25 hundredths is very different from 25 as a whole number, okay? So if it's a whole number, make sure you butt it up right up next to that decimal. You only put numbers after the decimal if you've solved for a decimal, okay? All right, so that would have gotten you a whole number 25. On your copy, go ahead and on your new problem, find your rise over run and divide it. If you would like me to double check, I can.